This was going to start at number 9 because I messed up. Mark Jackson is supposed to be at number 10, but yeah, guys, I messed up and I didn't notice until it was all the way over, so. Yo, what up, guys? So today we're going to be going over the best point guards of the 1990s. We're going to be doing this for every position through the 2010s. Let's go ahead and get into it with number 10. So at number 10, we have one of the most underrated players ever with Rob Strickland. Some of you guys may have never even heard of him before, other than in the commentating industry. But I mean, this man was consistently good up until the year 2000. He was drafted by the Knicks in 1988 and played for 9 different teams. He was a traveler. And although through the 1990s he was not exactly the most healthy player, but he never did miss a whole season. Through those 1990s, he averaged 13.2 points a game and 7.3 assists over his whole career. During one of those was his 94 season, in which he averaged 18.9 points and 8.8 assists. Very efficient as well, with 2 assists on defense. In the playoffs of the 1944, that same season, he was averaging 23 points and 12 assists. Although he was never ultimately the best player, he was very in the playoffs and came up clutch when he needed to. So, real quick before we get into number 9, I only put him this low because he got drafted in 1995, so he really didn't play the entire 90s, so I felt like I really couldn't put him any higher than this. But everybody knows the Magic were contenders when Penny and Shaq played together, but due to multiple different things, that team did fall apart way too fast. He got drafted in 95, like I said earlier, and dealt with many injuries that ruined his career. Really tragic player. He was a really good up-and-coming player on a really good up-and-coming team. But I don't really want to spend too much time on him because everybody knows about Penny. Now, Isaiah Thomas is known for many things, being the leader of the Bad Boy Pistons that won 2 different championships, being a mean, gritty, disrespectful player, and of course, being left off Jordan's dream team. So sorry, Isaiah. Had a dog on him. Anyway, of course, everybody knows he's one of the best point guards of all time, but he only played for half of the 90s, so that's why I put him this low. He won a championship in 1990, and overall he was good. In the 90s, he averaged 16.7 points, 7.9 assists, and of course was an absolute dog on defense. And he was the second pick in the draft and lived up to it for a very long time. Very, good player. You love to have him. If you want to talk underrated, Mark Price is absolutely the man to do it with. He was drafted in the second rounds and is one of the best Cavs players, especially point guards, to ever play the game. He was an excellent leader. He was one of only 8 players to be part of the 50-40-90 club. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Won the 3-point contest either once or twice. Might have even been more than that. I honestly don't know. He had some of the meanest layups and crossovers. He's white too, so I'm not even being racist stereotypical right now. But some of the stuff that he's doing is absolutely crazy. He was just a steal of a grab. He's probably the most underrated player in basketball history. That's number 6, Mark Price. So coming in at number 5, we have somewhat of a homophobe in Tim Hardaway. Just kidding. He used to be a homophobe, but he's actually doing a lot of work for trying to get gay people rights and, that thing. So, good for him, definitely. As far as stats go, he has one of the better stats lines of the 90s with 17.7 points a game and 8.2 assists. He was very good up until the year 1999. And his Heat, everybody remembers on the Heat. He has some of the best crossovers in NBA history. And this is a man that I would guarantee most of you guys know. So some might know Kevin Johnson as a very good basketball player, some might know Kevin Johnson as the current mayor for Sacramento, and some might know Kevin Johnson as a rapist. Who knows? He has a lot of different meanings. But this man was very, very, very good throughout the 1990s, averaging basically 18 points a game and 9.1 assists. That's a stat line that, especially back then for a guard, which the important part here is that he is a guard, that's why his averages are kind of low compared to now. Latrell Sprewell has some of the meanest dunks and just overall scoring in general ever. He was he was very much a head case in his years. He got into spats with basically everybody from his teammates to other players to his own coach to everybody he's ever met in his entire life. But throughout the 90s, he averaged 18.3 points and 4 assists. The assists weren't that good, but I mean, he was a scoring machine, that's for sure. John Stockton is the ideal point guard and one of the most reliable NBA players to this date. Through his years for Utah, which is the only team he played for, he averaged 13.1 points a game and 10.3 assists. He was the assist leader in the league multiple times. He had multiple over 20 assist games. He is still the Utah Jazz's assist leader and steal leader, both of those to this day. The man is an absolute beast. Him and Karl Malone had some of the meanest pick and roll combos in the NBA ever. He is just absolutely crazy and will forever be a legend. So coming in at number 1 is going to be the glove himself, Gary Payton, one of the best players to ever play this game, and as you know now, he is a coach in the Big 3 League, so that's, I guess pretty fun. But he played for the Sonics and then, a couple of other teams here and there at the end of his career. But his main success was when the Sonics, sort of like John Stockton with the pick and roll game, but, he had Sean Kemp on his side. He was a defensive beast who could score at will, and trust me, he could talk trash talk. He could definitely shit talk you the whole game. In his rookie season, he was already out there shit talking Michael Jordan, which that definitely proves you something about his whole personality and the way that he looks at the game. But anyways, guys, that is going to be my list. I'm going to do this, like I said, for every position through the 1990s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the next one.